what did he hit me with? He's like, he hit you with three. He hit you with three punches.
This is what I tell some people. The difference between MMA and boxing is that boxing, these guys are masters of their craft.
Yeah.
Meaning they're there only doing one thing, right? They're
One
perfecting
thing.
their standard. So they become masters of that craft. Now, going over to MMA, they can't really master that entire, you know what I mean? Either you're a phenomenal kickboxer, or you're a phenomenal jiu-jitsu artist, or you're a badass wrestler. They bring that master part in this game in MMA, and you know it doesn't really. Sometimes it don't really translate into greatness. Sometimes, you know. So in boxing, you know, these truly are masters of their game. Now, if you separate like jiu-jitsu, wrestling, all those dudes that are phenomenal in those, when they translate it into an open combat like MMA,
Yeah.
you know, they always relate to what they know, right? Their bread and butter.
Yeah.
And sometimes if the other one just slightly enough to defend it, they end up losing. Like, you know, which is a perfect one. Remember Brock Lesnar in MMA?
Yeah. Yeah.
Phenomenal wrestler, right?
Phenomenal wrestler.
College pedigree, D1, amazing.
Salute to Brock Lesnar.
Exactly. He ends up coming. He faces Cain Velasquez. He's also a great wrestler from Arizona. Oh yeah. Right. Also great.
Beast.
Great. However, he had already spent a lot of time, you know, working up his upper game.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening when Lesnar tried to, you know, go back to his bread and butter, shit that he knows like the back of his hand, it failed against a guy who's also just as good.
Yeah.
And he just ended up finishing him with the, you know.
Yeah, and not just as good, but he had elevated his game because wrestling was something that he already had. Exactly. It was that now that he had stepped into that MMA, he had been working on that ground and pound and that boxing technique and taking you to the ground and that grueling style that Cain had, where he would just wear your ass out. So that's something that he had built on top of the wrestling. So for Brock, well, how long were you gonna wrestle with him? How long were you gonna wrestle with him? Because he wasn't gonna make it a wrestle match at any time. Like no one gives a shit about pins and takedowns. Like Cain had skills. He legitimately would wear your ass out and beat you to shit. And when he had the chance and he caught Brock, he gave Brock everything that he, you know what I'm saying, everything that he had been working on, and he just wore him out.
Bro, didn't James Toney go into the UFC to fight? Was it him?
I think that might have been James Toney. I think James Toney did.
You see what happened to him, right? He got dismantled in a minute. Probably less than that. It's just you can't take. That's the thing with him. You can't be It's hard to be a master of something. Like it's just there's not enough hours in the day for you to work on the total craft, man.
No, you know? when it comes to MMA, what it looks like, because I don't know, because I'm not. I got a buddy that's an MMA guy, but it looks like, because he invited me to come in and help him out with certain things. And when you're looking at it, it's like, okay, they're doing enough to show you the fundamentals and then get you past that so that you know how to throw your jab and you know how to hook off your jab and you know how to feint punches and do things like that. But it takes so much time to kind of be dedicated to doing boxing, doing jiu-jitsu, and doing wrestling. It takes so much.
A lot of time. It takes hard.
Yeah.
And you could only really master one. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? I think there are ways to master other parts of it, but it takes more of your time to do it. Like you got to be in the gym a little bit longer than a boxer has to be, you know?
Yeah.
I just think you have to be in the gym. Like maybe one day you're working on jiu-jitsu, and then another day you're working on boxing, and then another day you're working on wrestling. Like there are just days where you have to split that shit up. But as far as boxers, they are dedicated strictly to the pugilistic sport of hand-to-hand combat and the sweet science, you know. So that's the one thing that they do have, and it's the one thing that we all know to do. But that's why I like MMA. Let me say that too. That's why I like MMA, because 90-something% of fights are going to go to the ground. Most people don't know how to stand up and throw punches and tuck their chin down and get low and throw a punch. Like they stand up, they tuck their chin out, and they throw punches over their hand. You know what I mean? So that's why I think MMA is good, because it teaches you, well, if it does go to the ground, here's some techniques that you can do. Here's a triangle hold, here's a choke hold, or if you know how to get side control or a full mount, this is how you beat a person's ass until somebody pull you off.
It's true.
You know what I mean? So I do like the MMA, and I'm saying that because of my homie. Salute to Juan. Love you, Juan. Juan does it, and I've seen him do some shit, you know, just playing around with people. And then one time he got serious and he told this dude to chill the fuck out, man, before you get hurt. And when he hurt him, it's like, God damn, man, you ain't have to do that. And it's like, yeah, maybe he learned next time.
Yeah, not to do it again.
Yeah. So, you know, from watching him and listening to him talk, and when we're engaging in conversation, it's a beautiful thing to hear him talk about it, because you're not just talking about, it's not necessarily, it is about hurting people, but it's the technique that you're putting forth to make sure that you hurt somebody the correct way.
Oh, definitely, man.
And I love that.